Hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? Who we got in chat? Mal, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Gapguns, Rorka, Racing Reggie, what's up? Lucky's here. K-Dog, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope everyone's having a good night and or morning, depending on where you are. Um, just to kind of kick things off, we are going to have a fun, kind of big announcement tonight. Merly Hunter, thank you so much for the follows. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Sign Media, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. On Zedhead, yeah. So for those of you that maybe don't know, I have another show. It's called Inside Zed. It's twitch.tv/ZedRunHead. It's every Sunday night. We interview a handful of people um, to just kind of talk about Zed, the state of Zed. Some really, really interesting people. We've had Zed Gazette, we've had Centribus, Eric Wong, we had Hero in tonight on. It's really, really fun. It's more of kind of an interview, and this channel's just me kind of talking, going over some Zed things. Um, and kind of my channel for those of you that are new, want to help out newer people to Zed, just kind of like the common Zed player that maybe doesn't have a huge bankroll, trying to get you to have the most fun and kind of benefit out of Zed. Morning, Jobab. Um, so yeah, hope everyone's having a good time. Mal, new follower, kind of kicked things off tonight with what budget should I have to just have a play with Zed and learn with my first horse? Um, My answer to that, and I don't think you're going to like it, Mel, is what you can afford. I pull up here. This is a website called HawkU, for those of you that aren't familiar with it. I just threw it in chat. Uh, it's basically you can go in and you can set filters on your horses, and it'll show you listings that are available on OpenSea. And so with this, I put in odds of 12 because I think that's a horse that you'd be able to have some fun with, and potentially get some wins. XZY86, thank you for the follow. Hey, MC Rowell, McRowell. If I mispronounce anyone's name, please correct me. I am so sorry if I do. PG Live, thank you, thank you, thank you. Crowell. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. So Mel, I put in 12 odds. I think that's a good balance of like entry level prices. Um, you get 0.11, 0.12 ETH. And then I would click into a horse like we've got Don Quixote here. Um, and you can see kind of average odds, win rates. You can see the parents, and kind of who they were. And then if you scroll down, you can see the races, both the past races and then upcoming races, and kind of see those odds and how the horse is performing, um, as well as position. Things to look for that I think are important are the fees. So if they're pretty consistent, is it free races? A lot of times free races will give you better odds than paid races. Some people think that kind of like artificially influences things. And then usually a higher fee means a little more difficult of a race, so your odds might not be as good. You've got 12.6 at 0.03, 003. So it may be a little higher. So we've got a 1800 right here at 10.3, and there's another one here at 12.3. So maybe just difficulty changes there. Oh, how's it going? How's it going? It's going pretty well. Going pretty well. Mel says, should I be scared of really high Z numbers? My answer to that is not necessarily. In the analysis that I've done across all of the races, right around the Z20 mark, Z21, is when you start getting to like the wild west of like crazy odds. It doesn't necessarily mean a bad horse. I would just evaluate the horse for what it is. Um, Don't be too concerned with Z numbers at this point. Just as an asterisk 2 in the top right, nothing I say or show here is financial advice. These are just my opinions. I wouldn't be too turned off by higher Z numbers. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Perfectly not perfect. Wow, I'm surprised I got that off so quick. That's a very clever name. Welcome to the stream, everyone. So yeah, I love helping out the community. Love answering any questions. Those of you that are new, please feel free to ask any and every question you could have. Um, I don't mind repeating anything, going over anything. I try and use data and analytics to make informed decisions. So, for example, if Don Quixote was my horse, I basically have created these data sheets in Google Data Studio, and I look at analysis. So here's one of my horses, um, wins by the moment, and you can see the number of races, average position, average odds, time, winnings, speed, the difference in speed, and we think that's important from like having or creating a U-shaped horse. Um, and a U-shaped horse will allow you to stay within a class. So it's going to win a good amount of times, and it's going to get 9th through 12th a lot of times. So it'll kind of be balanced out. And hopefully you have a good balance between profitability and then being able to race within a certain class or difficulty level. I look at top speed, win rates, the percent of time the horse finishes first through third, fourth through eight, 9 through 12. Also have a preferred distance calculator and some other kind of metrics that I've created to help kind of guide decisions as far as how to race a horse, preferred distances of the horse. Is this horse going to be better theoretically for racing up in winning or potentially, downclassing? So like I see this one right here at 1200, I have a 34% chance across almost 100 races of finishing in first through third. However, at 2600, I have a higher chance, much higher class chance of finishing 9 through 12. So maybe if I need to like go down or I don't want to go up in class, this could help me. So I try and use data as much as possible to influence my decisions and give me a slight edge. I believe that not every horse is necessarily profitable, but I think horses can be raced in a way to help kind of maximize or optimize performance. Um, just kind of checking on chat here for a minute. Thank you for following, Heroin. Oh, welcome. Uh, and so, okay, Kroll says, isn't higher Z the ones with more DNA, so good or bad, right? Yes, because more has been bred into it. We can't necessarily say that if it's good or bad yet, and it really depends. Joe says there's a crazy Z38 pacer right now. Is the horse named Rival Mo rare? What do you mean by rare racing? He beat me twice last week, even though he was not crazy good odds. So I'm seeing, and this could be anecdotal, but I'm seeing that as after breeding is opened up, that you're getting odds that are a little more, that are a little higher, maybe a little less traditional, that are still winning. So this horse has average odds of 7.6, 37 win rate. Seems to be outperforming itself right now. It's a Genesis. Wow, it looks like it gets really nice odds. Look at this distribution. This is like an L instead of a U. So you would have your 10, 11, 12 a lot higher. But this just finishes in first a lot. This is a crazy horse. And these are all paid, class 3, class 4. I think this is a great horse. I don't know if it's rare necessarily, but I think it's a very, very good racer. Mel says, what sample size do you need to know a real U-shaped horse? It depends. I don't think there's a firm number on that, and you're gonna find that, in my opinion, a lot of things on Zed don't necessarily have like a firm yes or no. Each horse's DNA and odds and performance is unique, so you really gotta try and like feel it out. Zed is not a game platform ecosystem that is black and white, in my opinion. Um, Joe says 9 distance types, 5 classes, approximately 45. Um, Beep Booper. We're looking at a horse. We're just talking about how use data analysis to um, influence decisions, try and give an edge, and to help educate. Um, and I think kind of to Joe's point, there could be times where 45 races is enough. There could be times where maybe 90 races or 100 races, that was the rule of thumb for a while, isn't or is enough. It really, really depends. This horse has 54 races, and I wouldn't necessarily it's a U right now, but you can tell that it races very well. Um, Beep Booper, does that answer your question? Just make sure I want to have that covered. Hell, um, my most recent racer is really making me wonder about the existence of an overperformance gene. Not crazy out of the line yet, so may just be getting lucky, but having fun racing again for the moment. I'm so happy you're having fun racing, Hell. I've had a thought or theory about a kind of like a booster gene, or a horse having heart. I don't have any proof on that, but it's just been a thought. It's something I'm looking out for. Um, but yeah, we will see. Um, see Busset. Yeah, this has some nice odds, good win rate. Yeah, this is another very, very nice horse. Very, very nice horse, Joe. And yeah, you can kind of see that U shape forming where it's the 12 is really high and the one's pretty high too. In fact, with this 12 being a little higher, at least so it looks, that's almost like a better situation. Race it right. Glad that answers your question, Boop Boop. Let's check out Runner's High. And then I want to kind of go through my big. Yeah, and I guess so wow, okay, yeah. We've got some good horses. So this is what I've heard some people refer to as like the S shape, where it like starts up, goes down, and then comes back up again. It's not quite a U, because the second, third is a little higher, and ninth is a little higher. Um, but it's definitely an interesting shape horse. Um, Orcus says I've got Onyx overperforming its odds and you. That's fantastic. Um, I'm excited. Humans and zombies. I'm excited. I'm only 2 weeks in, but I'm enjoying learning. That's awesome. That's love learning. It's a constant learning game. You're gonna learn so much, and I hope you continue to have a lot of fun. I know names don't matter, but I own Darth Vader. That's amazing. That is amazing. They don't, but it's still names are fun. Names are absolutely fun. Sorry, Lucky, that you're kind of hurting a little bit. I hope that turns around for you. Which is a tougher class? 1 or 5. 1 is tougher, so it'll go. You've got Griffin, which is also referred to as like a 0 class, and then you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And your best racers are theoretically racing in class 1, but you're going to have some great racers across all of the classes. Um, Human Zombies, yep, 1. Sean, welcome, man. Hope you're having a good night. Um, so kind of like I was saying, along with my kind of data that I use to like influence decisions, I get a lot of requests um, for people who are trying to build out their own spreadsheets and who are kind of looking for help, asking for help. Um, and I want to try and give back to the community as much as possible. Um, and I've had some really awesome um, really, really awesome members of my community come out and build out their own sheets. And it sounds like it's helped them at least to some success. At least they know kind of where their horse is at or how their horse is performing, which is just absolutely fantastic. And it's something that I hope, if you continue to like and follow and enjoy my content, that you will kind of get into yourselves is trying to make more data driven decisions. So along with that, and another kind of great resource for newer players is I launched a website called mjinformatics.com. And I really think that for those of you that are looking, I was just on HawkU. That's the first one that's listed up there. There's also breeding color calculator, analysis. I have know your horses, Zed Run tools, zoomies, Zed ranks, buying OpenSea that goes directly to the collection. I've got Zed Gazette and cracking the Zed Run code. So please check it out, newer players. I think it'll be a great kind of just like pocket resource for you all. That link doesn't work. Mel, oh no, is it down? Is it down? Can I get other people to confirm that for me, please? Um, if not, we may have to kind of relaunch some things here. Doesn't work. All right, we got multiple people saying it's not. Okay, so let me let me switch something very quickly. We should be able to get this up in a few minutes. While we do that, um, please feel free to throw any other horses or questions in chat. And for a lot of you newer players, when you're looking at getting a horse, try to. The first thing I would imagine, or I would ask if you're looking to get into Zed, is what is your kind of end goal for Zed? And um, what is your, do you want race? Do you want to breed? Do you like um, what does that look like for you? And then how can you drive that? So necessarily going out and buying the best breeder isn't always necessarily the best play. Um, so it's definitely something I would like consider and look at. Okay, so we'll work on getting the site back up. And while we do that, we'll circle back to chat. Um, Sorry about that little inconvenience. All right, so Hell says, I'm hoping Broken Dreams can't just keep forming that U Broken Dreams can just keep forming that U shape. Can't wait till her breeding is up. Try out the inbreeding theory to see if I can't find her grandfather in stud. Um, Beat Booper says, how do I value a horse? Have trouble figuring out how much a horse could sell for once, since every horse is unique. So, an interesting way to value or kind of price out a horse, at least to do so pretty quickly. Crowell says don't sell. Long as ETH moves, it gains. That's also something to definitely consider. Um, Done Vegan Sky, thank you so much for the follow. So how do I value a horse? So what I would do, again, just kind of very quickly, um, how Gazla, thank you for the follow. Um, I would go to hawku.com/Zed, and I'll throw this in chat. Um, and I would sort, like, try and narrow down exactly to a T what your horse is. So let's say I have a female that is a, 21 legendary Buterin. It doesn't have any crazy coat color. If I want, I could even look at kind of like odds or win percent. I can narrow those in. But once I hit save on those filters, we can click on, maybe a bad example. This isn't loading anything. Let's do a male. Is Hockey messing up too? There we go. All right, so we're looking at a male 20 legendary Buterin. So you can see now on HawkU, I clicked sales instead of listings, you can see what horses have been selling for and get kind of an idea of, okay, well, this horse sold for 145, it's getting about 12 odds. Here's one that sold for 0.074, getting about 38 odds. You can kind of get like a ballpark of what a horse could be valued at. You can also see when they were listed and how long it took for them to sell. 10 minutes, 3 hours. Um, so definitely something to think about or consider, but I think this would be a good way to at least kind of ballpark your pricing and kind of where you would value a horse at. Um, Kroll says Black Diamond. Does that answer your question? Beep boop. Check out Black Diamond here. So this is a Z5 Nakamoto exclusive. Looks like a great horse on paper. Legendary 8-8, 11-9. Looks like some nice parents. 14 odds. Wow, it's outperforming itself. It looks like a little bit right now, but still it has some great odds. You got a lot of 10, 11, 12s. You got some 1s, 2s. Horse looks like it's performing well, but then, so something to take note with this horse is that it has a lot of free races. And with free races, you're going to see lower odds. Um, and so that can, some people think, like artificially inflate the value of a horse. Um, so it's just something to be wary of. If you're looking to buy and you're looking to race, check free races versus paid races. And you can see it has some, odds 6-8 free, but then if we look paid, um, those numbers are significantly higher. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It is hard to get in free races. There aren't very many of them. But yeah, even odds up to 20. But yeah, it looks like the free races were used to kind of help this horse's odds out. So it may not be performing, at least from a racing standpoint, as well as others that have odds that are that low through paid. Does that make sense, Crowell? Mel says, "Do I sell horses? I'm not currently. I have. I'm not currently." PG Live says, "Can you check out Omnia?" And just for the sake of kind of demo, we will um, switch sites. So this site that I'm on right now is called knowyourhorses.com. For those of you that aren't familiar, it's another great horse evaluating tool. So you can see kind of, okay, what are we looking at on paper? It's a Z13 Legendary Finney, nice, 49 races, 10 win rate, place and show. And kind of in the example of Black Diamond, you're able to just kind of flip this switch and say, hey, I want to look at paid races now. And if those numbers, the win, place, and show, stay pretty much the same through win and paid, theoretically, that's a better value horse than one that has just lots of free races. Looks like great ROI. You can also kind of look at odds by distance. Wow, it's getting basically sub 10 across the board on average for paid. You see sometimes it bumps up a little bit, but you also have a handful of sub 10 odds. This looks like an awesome horse. Looks like definitely a horse that could definitely have a lot of fun with. Joe says end goal is profit, and that's kind of like an interesting thing. Is like in Zed there are multiple ways to make profit. You can do that through racing, you can do that through breeding, you can do that through buying and selling horses. Hell says check out Crucial Moment if you want to see a middle finger finish chart. All right, plug that in. 54 races, 5 win rates. Okay. And let's check this. Oh yeah, there's the 4 right there. So it builds up. Fourth, in my opinion, is the worst position that you can finish in, because on 4th place, you're not getting any money, but you're getting a point. And so that point can move you up in a class. So if you consistently finish 4th, you're not becoming more profitable, but you're theoretically going to be racing against more difficult horses in a more difficult class. So I would rather finish 4th than any other position in the, or sorry, rather finish anywhere else but 4th in this game. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. That's why I'm looking at Black Diamond and Parents. Nice. PG Live. I have 9 Z7 and bred them. I want to create a bigger stable. Love it, PG. Love it. Mal, I've mined a lot of ETH from 2018. I just want to have some fun with it. Good. I hope you can. I hope you can. Continuing. Rorker says, I want to dial Onyx into 2 distances. What do you recommend looking at the stats? Can I just get a quick check to see if, because on my end it's coming up locally, if my site is back up live. Nick, how you doing, man? How you doing? It was Black Onyx, was it? Um, what was the no, it was not. Um, yeah, if you could refresh me, I'll try and scroll up quick to see what the name of Onyx was. Um, and we can kind of go through how I evaluate picking a distance. Um, all right, we will keep going through. Z21 Legendary is impossible. Yeah, thanks hell, thanks hell. Um, all right, check Addish. Uh, is he broke? And I'll keep working through chat. I'll keep working through chat. No worries. If I haven't gotten through or I said I'll circle back, I'll do my best to. Looks like positive ROI, Z10 exclusive, paid. Um, looks good. I don't think this is broke. K-Dog, why do you think this horse is broke? Is that broken like a good way? I mean, it's getting 11-ish, 12 odds, but profitable. And I see very few fourths. 5 and 6 are empty. I see a lot of good potential with this horse. Just want to make sure I'm entering the correct races for my girl. Thanks. Site's still down. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it. Lucky says worked for me. Site works. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Yeah, the DNS is propagating. It should go through soon. I have it set KDog to go a little faster. I'm running it through, I think, a pretty good host, so it should go through a little faster than 24 to 48. Can you check out the older he got, the better? Want to make sure it's racing at the right distances. So and we'll catch up in chat in a second here. 10, cool. So how I evaluate distance. I'm going to look here. I'm going to look at kind of odds. It's pretty, this is an example of like a flat horse. So I called this, I heard it once. I really liked it. It's like a generalist, and that there doesn't seem to be anything like super clear that's jumping out at me. So when that happens, I'm going to switch this to paid. We'll see if anything changes. 15, 14. So we're still pretty flat across the board. Then I want to try and look at, okay, well, where has the horse done well? So where have those wins come from? So I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to try and see, okay, so there's a 2000, there's a first place, there's a 1600, there's a 2000 and third. So let's try just 2000, and just kind of see where, Winks, you did not miss the announcement. It will be coming soon. So I see 6 races. Profitability isn't positive, but it's better than overall. And so let's take a look at what we have here. So I see there's a third, a second, a first, an eighth, a sixth, and a tenth. One way that I would maybe change running this horse, Davey, is to look at your entry fees. In my opinion, when you have a higher entry fee, you're going to get a little more difficult of a challenge pool, or at least a higher chance of that. So maybe I would kind of tone that back a little bit. You've won one of these higher, you've lost one of these. Your first place came a little lower. I would try and scale that down. And you're in class 4 now, so let's get back to class 4. Maybe let's try 2000 at class 4 just to see what happens there. Opinions on buying an unraced horse to start out with, T Swift. First of all, love the name. I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. Woo. So to me, that's too big of a gamble, in my opinion. You're buying a lottery ticket at that point. unless it's like a really, really good deal. And again, I would use Hawk U to try and find a good deal. If it's something that's below the floor price, I may consider it. Otherwise, probably not. Davey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Probably not going to purchase it. I'd rather buy something that has good odds over a small amount of races, because I think there's more value there, and you have a better idea of where the horse could be going at that point. SJ Cooper, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Is there a chart for points average per race or overall? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. Still down. All right. So some people looks like it's propagating. We're looking to get short distance performers with long to balance it out. Not necessarily, Crowell. You just got to find your preferred distance for your horse and really just kind of hammer that home. Big release is coming soon, PG Live. Um, yeah, Mel, what does broke mean? Yeah, is it not working? The horse looked like it was running well. Davey, no problem, no problem. Thank you, MJ. I'm complete beginner, and that helped a lot. Good, good, good. All right, so the site's still propagating, but I wanted to share this with you. Newer players, check it out. MJ Informatics, Golden Glow, Taylor Swift, LOL. um, MJinformatics.com is my website. There are a handful of tools here. I have it broken down into research, into um, analysis. Know your horses. We're just on. Zoomies is another one, um, which kind of takes your. We can go through all of these as well. So let's go ahead and check this out. We've done Know Your Horses. Zed Run tools I like for looking at lineage. If we look at here's Y2K2K, great horse. There's an option on Know Your Horse or Zed Run tools where you can just click this Explore Bloodline, and it's really really easy to look at. I mean, these are just two Genesis, but we'll see Y2K2K as an unnamed foal, and then you can just click the parents right here. And it kind of hides sometimes, but you can really just see all the different relationships between horses. It's really nice. Another one is Zoomies.run. It's a horse ranking site. So someone mentioned about like points and like evaluating horses and what that looks like. This might be the closest thing to that. Basically, you can type in a horse's name, and they have their own proprietary racing system or rating system. Excuse me. You can kind of tell the numbers down here. Red isn't necessarily bad. It just means that it's raced against below average horses. Green means it's racing at more difficult horses. The outline means that there's a chance of racing a distance and winning without classing up. And then green is you might be able to race without classing up. So Zoomies is a great tool. Again, all of this can be found on my website for you to look at. Golden Glow says check race analysis in Zed Run tools. Yep, also very, very good there as well. We can go back. And they have similar to Know Your Horses, but you have your race name, weather, place, fee, odds, event type, distance, time, and when it ran at. T Swift, how much cash do you think is bare minimum to get started to do decent in Zed? You're not gonna like my answer, T Swift, but it's however much you're willing to lose that you can do so comfortably. I would say that you're probably looking at a few $100. You can do it under 1,000. Thanks, K Dog. I appreciate the DNS lookup. Really, really appreciate that. Sorry, Mal. It'll be up soon. So just there are a lot of different ways to evaluate horses. I really like my sheets. because it looks at, the percent of times you finish first through third, fourth through eight, 9 through 12, and I think there's a lot of value in that. So, kind of drum roll into the announcement is that on my website tonight, I am launching um, a new tool, completely separate, which I'm calling ZEDalytics. It is not related to Zed at all. This is my own tool, and it is basically a recreation of my dashboard that can be accessible. So if we're going to go ahead and give it a second, there we go. So what this is it is an evaluation of right now there are 158,000 races. And I see this having use in multiple um, it has multiple use cases in my opinion. One, just by going on this page itself, you can see um, kind of the current state of the game. So average odds, we're looking at just under 15. Win rate is about 8.3. The percentage that horses finish at these different distances, all of the breakdown. I look at speed in kilometers per hour. That's just kind of how I learned it, and that's what I've kept it at. But kind of another thing that you can do here is type in the name of your horse. So one of my horses wins by the moment. You hit enter, you can select your horse, and all of this data will now update. So you have, like I know your horses, your breakdown of your position. I love picking gate 3 for this horse. Gates don't matter, but I just love picking gate 3. And you can see then the number of races, your average place, your average odds, your average earnings for your horse, your win rate, and then your percent finishes first through third, fourth through eight, 9 through 12, as well as your speeds and the standard deviations. Now, if you compare this to Know Your Horse's standard deviation, it's different because I'm using kilometers per hour and not finish time. The extra kind of little bonus on top of this is that there is now a preferred distance indicator at the end here. So this preferred distance, PGA might need a little bit to propagate, just switch the DNS over. But basically saying that you want a higher number here as a distinction on what distance to pick for your horse, because that's a commonly asked question that I get is, hey, am I running my horse at the right distance? I'm not going to say that this is perfect or like the absolute best at that, but this would be a great guide for you in how to pick out a horse. So for me right now, it's looking like just overall, 1200 is a preferred distance for wins by the moment. Yes, Rorka, I will post this link up in a second. You can also switch between free and paid. And again, when evaluating, I like looking at paid. This horse most commonly races in class 2. So I'm going to throw that up as well. And you can kind of see that all these numbers, as well as positions and gates, will adjust in real time as you select. You can sort by all these different columns, and it will update for you. So again, looking at 1200, but instead of 1400 now, 1000 becomes more of a preferred distance for me, because the preferred distance indicator says that the number, the calculation came out higher than 1400. So the link to this, which is now live, assuming it has propagated, if you're getting an error message, it should be coming up soon. Gabgon's so happy you like it or excited about this. This tool is going to be completely free, available to anyone and everyone, assuming the DNS propagates. Yeah, so I wanted the community to help and try and aid them in making more data-driven decisions in hopes of potentially giving you an edge. And I really think that this tool could do it. I had a lot of people asking me for my dashboard And I think this is um, a really nice way to kind of look at and analyze horses. And again, too, from a purchasing standpoint, being able to plug in a horse's name, saying, "Hey, is this horse worth buying?" Maybe this could help aid and guide in that situation. Um, Mel says, if had time, could I please have a quick look at what you would get starting out with a budget of 0.15 ETH? So Mel, is that a overall budget or is that a budget of racing and purchasing? Um, UFO, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Hell, thank you, thank you, thank you. Broken Dreams. So yeah, just kind of as an example, proof of concept. Clear out the name, clear out this because I do not know anything about Broken Dreams. Um, and I consider this very early on in its development. So again, type in the name, hit enter, check the box. And then here we have, okay, so we've kind of got what looks like to be a U. And it's easier. I have this very zoomed in for streaming purposes, but you can see it a little more together on your screen, especially if you're running a desktop. Um, so this horse looks like it is still very early on. The preferred distance indicator really hasn't had ability to calculate too much. And that's further kind of proven justified by the small amount of races here. Um, so my recommendation for newer horses that don't have a lot of races are to race them out and then race them deep. So I see, so according to this right now, where things stand, it looks like you've got 12 races here. You're averaging fourth. You've got a 41% win rate. And it looks like your first, second, third, those have been all wins. Oh, I would look at 1600s. If we switch this to paid, that could tell a slightly different story. Yeah, 1600, 40, and 40. I wouldn't see anything wrong with continuing down the path of 1600 for this time at Broken Dreams. And again, looking at preferred distance indicator, we don't have a lot here, so there could be some potential in racing these distances out. But you've got a very nice win rate over 10 paid races. I think that's something worth exploring more. Um, and again, I try to consolidate all the filters and the switches and everything when you're looking at a horse and evaluating that, and to do it into a single tool. I'm not trying to take anyone on or replace any other tools. All of them have their purpose and their utility. They're all fantastic. I just view this as another tool potentially in your arsenal in looking at horses. Um, yeah, what? Sorry, can you give me Worka? Hey, Wappy, how you doing? Worka, could you? Thank you, Wappy. Worka, could you give me Onyx's full name? Is it just Onyx? And I'll plug that in. Um, so Mal, you're looking at 0.15 ETH. Um, so let's go back to just kind of Hawk U, and we'll see what's on. Oh, it's just Onyx. Worka, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. So if we go back to the tool, we'll clear this out. Uh, all right, so yeah, and you see, like if you're searching, you'll see all the different variations that'll come up as well. So yeah, so this looks like Onyx at 2400, and we can talk about why. So 24 and 16 look pretty nice. You got your most races there, and again, if you don't have a lot of races, maybe consider racing out some of these distances. Um, you've got a 15% win rate. 30% in first through third. So it looks like this is kind of influencing that. Standard deviation close to 1. Not your slowest, not your fastest. So yeah, that's why that's probably its highest. And you are profitable at that distance as well. So that's why right now it's looking at, hey, 2400 would be kind of the place to go with that Orca. Um, I love the tool stuff people are making for Zed. Yeah, it's an awesome community. It's an awesome ecosystem. There are other amazing tools out there for sure. All right, so now Hawkyu's being a little silly. Um, Come on, let's see if I can get. So sometimes on HawkU, it'll do this kind of like infinite loop of just going over and over and over again. And it can struggle a little bit. So you might not be able to get the filters you want in it. If that happens, let's see if we can get back to listings. Yeah, so when it's reloading like this, it won't allow you to put the filters. But basically what I would do, Mal, is I put a filter on for a max price of 0.15. And then I would look at odds and win percentage, and just kind of do an evaluation off of that. If I would look past one race, that would kind of be the other filter I'd look at. Is let's look at maybe a handful of races, 3 to 5 to 10 races at least. And that's how I would guide kind of my purchase decision. And get this to unload, I can walk through that in a little more depth or a little more detail. But yeah, so yeah, just wanted to fully announce that the tool ZEDalytics, not affiliated with Zed Run, is out in a way to help you evaluate horses that you may be considering for purchase, help you, and again, a guide rail, looking at how to better race your horses using data, as well as to look at just your overarching performance for your horses. If this is a tool that you like and you find value in, I do have my link up top to donate. Donations are not required, but greatly appreciated. And again, this is not financial advice. Just because you use the tool doesn't mean you'll automatically become a better racer. It's for entertainment purposes and to hopefully just help you try to be a little better. What do you think is a good? Thank you, PG Live. Thank you, thank you. Wappy says, what do you think is a good sample size to give to a distance? It really depends on your odds. I mean, if you're pulling, sub 8, sub 10 even odds pretty consistently and pretty regularly, that could be enough for you. And you do that at 5 races and you're getting that number consistently, I think you're in a pretty good spot. But if you're kind of in the 12 mark and the horse had maybe put in races that were either out of class or not at the lowest amount, maybe it needs a few more races, but raced more correctly, if that makes sense. But sometimes lower and sometimes like 13, but it's winning. So then Wappy, I'd maybe consider like, still going with that. PG Live says, can we rent horses in the future? I don't know if we'll be able to rent them, at least not officially. I know there are some people out there that are doing some who have larger stables that are kind of considering or toying with the idea of doing like a buyback program where if you buy a horse it doesn't work out, you can sell it back to them for a fraction of the price. Yeah, there are some people kind of looking at that. Eric Wong is looking to provide horses at a discount or at a not discount, but I'd say a very accessible price. Um, and it so there are definitely resources out there for not necessarily renting, at least not officially, but at least trying to get into the game. Yeah, and I know a lot of people like myself are doing things manually. This will hopefully take away some of that manual work. Gabgon says, look at Grundle Smuggler. What a name. Currently for 0.14, not mine, not financial advice. Odds seem to be okay. So I guess that's one thing. We'll plug it in here. And always be mindful of your filters too. Grundle, not in there. Am I spelling it wrong? Data is case sensitive. Let's see what we find here. I don't have this race data like Know Your Horses has, and I think that's really nice. Maybe it was a case issue. Let's see if we can. There we go. There it is. Um, a little too fast for it. Um, Still not coming in. How many races does this have? Oh, one race. Probably because it's not. This doesn't update live. So I will have to manually update it. I'll try and do it every day, every few days. That's why Grundle Smuggler's not showing up. So it's a Z17 exclusive. Um, so we've got a Griffey at 9, and then it's got 8, 9. So yeah, I mean it's got some good odds. This horse looks like it has a good potential. Looks like it's raced fairly well here. The entry fees. This one was a free. Um, so 1200, but also got a 1200 paid. Um, yeah, this horse looks like it could have some potential. Um, Also worth, checking out the ancestry. You can do it on Know Your Horses. I like Zed Run tools a little better. But it doesn't look like it has many, if any, races. Um, this looks like it has a handful. Finney exclusive, so this would have parents as well. The Genesis wouldn't. Yeah, this horse looks like it could be like a fun horse to try out, not financial advice. Lucky again, thank you. I'm glad you're using it. Um, Wappy says, love how you can click on the charts and it updates the gates. Thank you, Wappy. Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to try and be, as interactive and kind of live and kind of breathing as possible. Um, Again, not super up to date. If you scroll down to the bottom of it, you can see the date in which it was last updated. So this was done this morning. I'm a little earlier today. So yeah, again, I hope it's helpful. It'll be in the nav of my website, MJ Informatics, along with resources. Resources will still remain the homepage, but um, it'll be yeah, completely and openly accessible. Wappy, you just saved me a bunch of work that I was meaning to get around to. So much appreciated. That makes me so happy. That's what I wanted for this, was to try and create something that was accessible and helpful, and again, just trying to help guide you make the best decisions possible. Again, there are no guarantees of outcomes by using this, but yeah, just something I thought that could be helpful for the community. And I don't see anyone putting anything out quite like this. And again, not to disregard any other tools, continue to use those. They're all fantastic. Each one has its own purpose, and I feel that this tool has a unique purpose as well. And again, just kind of looking at this, we can look at paid, we can switch to class. Um, let's go to class 2. You can again kind of get an idea of where the ecosystem is, and just kind of the differences in the numbers. The standard deviations in class 2 are a lot higher than in class 5, for example. Um, you have, 0.09s, and again, that kind of further from a research standpoint could say, hey, as you race up in class, the standard deviations are higher. It's a more difficult area to be in. Racing Reggie tool on your website. It's awesome. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Wappy says, I have a horse that seems to pull consistent like 10 odds, but sometimes lower. Okay, yep, we went over that. Um, Lucky, love the tool. MJ already plugging horses. Cool, cool, cool. Um, awesome, awesome. So yes, so it is now publicly available. You heard it here first. Big announcement. Hope it helps you all. Again, make more data-driven decisions. And again, for people that are new, you get to know the ecosystem a little better, um, and also get to evaluate horses in a way that's a little different than what is currently out there. Gebgons, it is currently live. It's not in my nav yet, but it is currently live and currently free and available. It might show that it's down. It's just a DNS propagation issue. That'll be up in a few hours. Um, Wappy says it's kind of interesting. I have a horse that can pull sub 8, but that's in a higher class. but I have been winning in class 2 with it recently. That is awesome. That sounds like a great, great, great time. And all we need is races to come back a little faster, and this will be even more valuable, at least hopefully. Gabgon's working for you. So happy. Good, good, good. Yeah, so again, mjinformatics.com. I'll have it up here in the nav. None of this is ever financial advice. Privacy policy down here, and the content of the site's for entertainment purposes only, never financial advice. Um, Wappy, yes, though we're forcing you to make better decisions. Yeah, and now you can actually like take time to look at it and look at it pretty quickly. And with races being slower and this not being totally automatic, um, I think this could be really helpful. I think you raise a really good point there, Wappy. Really good point. So this kind of wraps things up for the night and was the big kind of reveal that I wanted to go over with you all. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you get some good use out of it. Um, and wish you all the best. And Zed, new followers, thank you so much. Great questions tonight. Great horse reviews. I'll be on a little later in the week. So if you have other questions, whether about the tool or about horses or about getting into Zed, um, feel free to ask on stream. You can find me on Twitter at mj_stables. You can shoot me a DM there, or just tweet at me any questions you may have. Love to help out. Just want to make this community as open and um, great of a place as possible. Mal, good luck with Grundle. If you get Grundle, good luck, and let me know how it goes. Please, please, please. Also find me on Discord. I'm MJ Stables, and my number is. I've copied it. Um, if you're on Discord and want to chat, please feel free um, to hit me up. Happy to help any time. That's all for tonight. Enjoy the tool. Appreciate you all, and everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much. You are all awesome.